Hey guys, what's up? Today I got a UU match. This one is against Nick underscore Rathburn. I'm gonna go ahead and lead with my Needle King because I see Victini and I'm like, I really don't want to have to be dealing with that. I want to get my Slowthorks up immediately. Plus, it helps for the Crobat, and he clearly does not have a spinner. And if he wants to lead with like Kangaskhan, I'm okay with that. I can take that. And if he wants to lead with a Victini, unless he's going to be V creating me, which I can switch to my Slowbro for, he can't take me out. So that's the plan. Unfortunately, he's going to lead with Crobat, and he is going to indeed have the taunt. I was sort of thinking he would because it's leading, and most of them do have taunt, along with like Roost, U-Turn, Brave Bird, or Super Fang, or maybe Toxic, whatever. But yeah, he does taunt me, which kind of sucks. I almost went for the Earthquake here because I'm like, he's probably going to U-Turn, just to see what I switch into. Um, But, whatever. He probably would have switched to, like, Slowbro anyways or something. I really don't know what he was switched to when he's like, oh, Needle King staying in because, probably would have thought I had Stone Edge or. I don't know. He was weird because he asked me, he's like, what does a support Needle King have anyways? Um, but yeah, anyways, I go to Slowbro and U-turn super effective. Victini comes in. I know it can't really do too much. He's probably going to U-turn anyways, and I can just switch out and mitigate most of that damage. But because it does so little, I know that it's Scarfed, which is actually really nice because that means he's not too much of a threat. As long as I keep my Slowbro around, and that's obviously what I'm going to be doing because he doesn't really have anything to kill it. His Needle King potentially, but that's only if it's like the Life Orb, Sheer Force with Thunderbolt, which, to be honest, it most likely is. But anyways, I do go for the Scald, and he is going to get burned, which is nice, but I'm going to switch out to my Raikou, thinking he'll either Toxic or set up Stealth Rocks. But he does go for the Roar, and I get roared out to my Heracross, which is perfect. Here I know he's going to either switch to his Slowbro, or potentially his Crobat, but I was thinking more Slowbro, so I'm going to go for the Mega Horn, but he goes to Needle King instead, which actually, to think about it, he has a lot of things to switch in on a close combat. All of them would take it very well, but, it doesn't do all that much damage. And I'm going to have to switch out, go to my Houndoom, thinking he won't go for the Earth Power. If anything, it'll be either like an Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, or the Flamethrower / Fire Blast, and that is indeed what it does. I'm going to go for the Dark Pulse, obviously, because he's got a Slowbro, and the Fire Attack move is fairly obvious because I just got the boost. There is a chance I can kill a purely physically defensive Slowbro, and it's not a very good chance. It's somewhere around 50%. But if he does have any special defensive investment, that's going to lower that chance significantly. I figure it's not worth it. Just switch out to my Meganium. He can't really do anything to me because even if he has Toxic, I do have Aromatherapy on this Meganium. It is basically like a Roserade, except it's got much better defenses than HP. And his speed, hell, is really not that bad. It's 80 instead of 90. It just is really lacking that huge special attack, but it's not a big deal. I'm going for the Leech Seed, predicting the switch, and it's not going to hit. And Toxic wouldn't have hit either, so it's not really a big deal. I'm going to go to Raikou, because I figure Brave Bird won't do all that much damage. That, or he can taunt me. Yeah, now I'm just going to go for the Thunderbolt, because his Needle King is dead, and he can't resist it on anything on his team. He's going to get a crit on the U-turn. Not really a huge deal. I really didn't mind. He is going to get into his Kangaskhan, though, and that Thunderbolt is going to do a large chunk because I am Life Orbed and not Leftovers. I don't know. I don't like the sort of bulky, calm mindset. I really should try it. I mean, it's pretty nice. But I guess it's just, when I think bulky, calm mind, Leftovers guys, I think big defense, and Raikou doesn't really have that great either. Like, his special defense is already pretty good. I don't know. Whatever. I'm going to go Meganium because I don't want to get Fake Outed and or Sucker Punched either way. I probably at this point should have switched to my Slowbro instead because it's physically defensive and this is especially defensive. But, whatever. I figure Slowbro is more important. Although Meganium is nice to take out his Slowbro and his Empoleon, which I was considering because it is actually faster than both of them. But it turns out that that doesn't really matter. You'll see later. I'm going to switch out to my Slowbro now because his U-turn isn't going to be doing that much damage. Neither is the Brave Bird. And there you see it's barely 100 damage, so it's like a 5-hit KO after Leftovers, maybe 6-hit KO if I get a slack off somewhere in there, which I clearly, obviously will. But yeah, so now I'm just going to go for the U-turn just to rack up a little bit of extra damage. and I'm just going to go for the Scald again, and he's going to switch into his Empoleon because his Slowbro can take it, but his Empoleon is better because it's especially defensive. So Scald is what's going to happen. At this point, I'm like, if he has Toxic, I don't really care, because again, I have Aromatherapy on my Meganium, but I don't want to outright switch to it, because if he has Ice Beam, that's kind of bad. And he's only really shown me Roar so far. So, yeah, he's going to go for the Stealth Rocks now, and I'm not too worried about that, because there's only one thing on this team that is weak to the Stealth Rocks, which is, I don't even remember. Who is it? Houndoom, there we go. But yeah, I'm just, like, literally, until he shows me Toxic and it racks up a couple turns, I'm just content to sit in here and Scald him all day, because there's really nothing he can do. And because he goes for the Scald here, that tells me he doesn't have Toxic and he does have Ice Beam, and he indeed actually told me flat out, he's like, I wish I had Toxic instead of Ice Beam. And then I told him, I'm like, well, it wouldn't have mattered. And he's like, why not? You have Aromatherapy on your Meganium. And I'm like, points to Heracross. And he's like, oh, right. Which is actually not true. It's actually a big fat lie. I'm kind of like that. If you do ever battle me, I will psych you out on any chat we're using Skype mainly. I don't actually have guts. I have Moxie on my Heracross. So, yeah, I was kind of just not letting on that I had Aromatherapy on my Meganium, but as I've said like 3 times already, I do. So it wouldn't have been an issue. But because he has Ice Beam, I don't want to be switching into it. But as I already explained, because he's Scalding and not Toxicing, I figure he does have Ice Beam and not Toxic. So now I figure it's safe to go... well, no, I don't go into my Meganium. Sorry, I get dragged out to my Meganium. But I figure it's safe to stay in because at first I'm like, will it kill? But then I'm like, wait, he's going to be at like freaking like 5% health. Of course a Stab Giga Drain is going to kill. Because I really did not want to get hit with an Ice Beam. Though I am specially defensive, still not damage I need to be taking. But no worries, it does obviously kill. And now he's kind of low on Pokemon. I'm thinking his biggest threat is actually going to be a Slowbro if he has Toxic, because mine doesn't. Mine is my Calm Mind kind of tankish set. And if he has like Ice Beam or Flamethrower on his Slowbro, it's kind of annoying because I can't really kill it with either of my walls, but that's what the rest of my team is for. I mean, I got my Nidoking, which is physically offensive. I got my Heracross, which can obviously plow through the remaining amount of his team. But after seeing that V-Create damage, I know it's not going to do too much because he's Scarfed and not Banded. He's just going to run because his Slowbro does not have Toxic, so there's really no chance of him killing me with Scarf Victini, a, defensive 3 attacks Slowbro, or a Crobat. So yeah, he's just going to run. He actually didn't knock out any of my Pokemon. He got closest on Raikou. He had like 60 HP left or something. But yeah, so that was a pretty cool game. I enjoyed it. Not exactly close, 6-3 technically, but yeah, he just wanted to save time in me not have to scald him to death on everything and or switch out on the Slowbro and kill it with pretty much anything on my team. So yeah, that's the battle, like I said, and hope you guys all enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow.